Brothers and sisters, it's Thursday on the second week of Easter. John Ruffle, tremendous privilege to be with you again today. And we're looking at the discourse, continuing on from yesterday, of Jesus's meeting with Nicodemus, who was a Pharisee. So the Pharisees believed in the resurrection from the dead. And he came to Jesus at night because he was afraid, He didn't want to open. He said, hey, let's go and talk to Jesus. And Jesus, I'm just using some of the scriptures that we have been reading this week. Jesus said to Nicodemus, verse 6 of chapter 3, flesh gives birth to flesh, but the Spirit gives birth to spirit. You should not be surprised at my saying, you must be born again. This is verse 7. Interestingly, on Monday and Tuesday of this week, the Gospels overlap, and verse 7 is repeated both on Monday and on Tuesday. So it's got to be pretty important for the church, as well as, obviously, it's the words of Jesus. But the church must also think this is pretty important. You should not be surprised at my saying, you must be born again. Folks, I just need to challenge us. Have we experienced a new birth? Because this is so foundational to our faith. We talk about the charismatic experience. We talk about a deeper life of prayer and intercession and devotion. But unless we've had a rebirth, then these things just don't interlock. Now, I realize I'm on tricky ground here because of Catholic doctrine about rebirth being a regeneration at baptism. I went into that a little bit yesterday. And what I'm going to rephrase it, okay, I'm going to, rather than use the word rebirth, I'm going to say conversion of heart. Have you and I had a conversion of heart that is real, that is experiential? Because at least for me, unless our faith has some kind of experiential element to it, I don't mean necessarily over-the-top emotional, but something that's very personal to us, a conversion that changes the way we act and think and speak. Unless we've experienced that, then I wonder, why are we going to church? I mean, I sound like a heretic to my own ears, to be honest with you, to even suggest that we shouldn't go to church, except in this period of lockdown with COVID-19 here, I'm recording this in 2020, then obviously we cannot go to church. So this is a time of reflection, a time away. We can be monks and nuns, if you like. Those of us that, and we've got monks and nuns on the front lines, serving the community in wonderful ways, especially our medical staff. God bless them. And that's one way of serving. That's one way of being the living Christ to the community. But I used to have a t-shirt, and I made the t-shirt up, got it made up, and it had these words on it. It starts in the heart with Jesus. It starts in the heart with Jesus. And yeah, it's a journey that begins at baptism, but it doesn't end at baptism. And so I want to encourage us to embrace the reality of that converted heart, that renewal of heart, that rededication, that every year we say we renounce Satan and all his works. I want that to be real in every one of our lives. And then the sacraments become real, and the sacraments become effective, and the Holy Spirit can fill every part of our day, waking and sleeping. The Holy Spirit wants to be with us, so we have intimate communion, so that praying without ceasing doesn't become something impossible to achieve, but it's something the Holy Spirit aids us with, and a whole life becomes a prayer. I'm going to leave you with a thought to ponder. Would you like, in what ways can you assist the Lord in making your life a total life of prayer? And what might it look like? It's John Ruffle. God bless you. Jesus is Lord.